Your audience processes visuals 6,000 times faster than text, yet most business communications is still trapped in paragraphs and bullet points. Graphics aren't just decoration. There are comprehensive accelerators that transform confusion into clarity in seconds. Are you still asking people to read what they could see? Right now, your prospects are drowning in text-heavy content, while their brains are literally wired to polarize visual information, which is why infographics are shared 3 times more than any other content type. Research from brain cognitive science departments show that human brain can identify images seen for as little as 13 milliseconds, while processing text takes significantly longer. How much understanding are you losing by forcing people to read instead of what they see? Visual communication gap costs businesses approximately $42,000 annually in lost engagement, misunderstanding, and mismessaging, and prospects abandoning content before they grasp the key concepts. Companies relying primarily on text-based communications experience a 47% lower message retention and 3 times higher bounce rates compared to those leveraging strategic visual elements. Every critical concept you explain with words alone rather than visual support is systematically reducing comprehension, slowing decision-making, and washing potential customers leave before they understand your value proposition. This is one of the reasons we've moved to video as one of the key indicators for almost everything we do. Less and less are we dependent on text. Most people aren't reading text. I work with a university that's just starting to grow, and they're doing a lot of online content, and they continue to want to write text and create ideas that way. And I continue to be, can you just create a video for me? Can you record that? I want to sit down and record it and understand. And the beauty of that is, first of all, you get all the tone and tenor. Text is a horrible way of communicating. It is a way that communication kind of falters because you're missing so much content. You're missing the tonality and the ideas that are expressed in how we express something, where we express something. In visual communications, we capture much more of that. I must admit that I continue to find websites, and if I don't quite understand the product, the first thing I look for is there a video? Are you showing me as well as telling me, or do I have to read it? In fact, to be honest, I love putting IKEA furniture together. I don't know why, but I do. It's one of those things that is kind of just natural to me. And I understand there's people who do and people who don't. When my son was in kindergarten, they asked for some help. And it was a very well-educated kindergarten class, so they had lots of doctors and teachers, and no one could put together the IKEA furniture that they needed. And in reality, what happened was I was able to put something together that most people weren't. They could enjoy it. But I picked up a piece of furniture the other day and it just did not make sense. It was not going in any way, shape, or form. And so what did I do? I went on YouTube and typed in the name of the furniture and saw how to do it. And in 30 seconds, I got it. I didn't really need to show them exactly, but I just needed to get a visual understanding of what that was. And in 3 minutes, I had it, was able to put it together, and I felt a lot more comfortable with it. Sorting out the graphic designs and drawings and how they worked out was a bit of a challenge initially. And so therefore, we created something visual for me to understand. And so what are you doing to help visually create? One of the rules of the company is if you have to send more than 3 texts, you need to up the communications. And most of the time, if I have to do something that's critical, I also send a video with it. So not only will I show them what I'm doing, I'll talk them through it as well and point to something. And that's very possibly just a video of the screen that I'm pointing to with my conversation, and then they can transcribe it or do it whatever we want. But we're upping that communication step. Text is the worst way for us to communicate. It's one of the ways that we're used to defaulting to because it was really the first mass media system. But with everyone carrying a perfectly good videographer's kit in their pocket, why not step up? Now, not everyone likes to stand in front of the camera, and I know most people don't, but we need to get more comfortable with it. We need to be able to identify with people, work with people, and relate to them. One of the first things I saw, and this was quite a few years ago, not surprising anymore, but I knew there was a change when people started watching people on the computer and starting to think of them as important as the people they were seeing on the TV. Nowadays, it's exactly the opposite. But when that shift came, the ability to connect with someone over a period of time, whether it's through a social media app, whether it's through video conferencing, escalate and creates greater amounts of conversation. I was taking a look a while ago about my productivity before Zoom and after Zoom. When Zoom came onto the market, we were actually able to do video calls. The productivity increased. My calls decreased and we got more done because we were interacting with people. We weren't distracted. And to be honest, there were a lot of calls that I was doing other things too. The power of us to be able to create greater visuals and greater ability is something we need to think about at all times. It's more difficult. Yes, you have to shave, make sure your makeup's on, your hair is straight, but be able to relate to those people, to be able to show visual, to be able to become more and more engaged as we get farther and farther away from community is one of the more important things. Do you have an example of something that you found visual is helpful? Maybe it's a graphic, maybe it's a video. What is the thing that helps you over a period of time? Make a decision, become more interactive, become more cognitive of your people. Put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Let's continue this conversation.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.